would be. Tom, you going to go first? Tom Osbeck. God bless you. How's your back?
Well, thank you. It is great to be here. I won't take the time that I should to thank this church and so many people and the great times we had yesterday, and it's been so accommodating, but I want to thank you. I love this church already. I love the praise and worship. I could do this every week. When I saw the sign above the door, I said, this is going to be a good place to worship and be at. But, just to get to know Kathleen and Tim and Cheryl and Kathleen and Nancy and her husband Mike. Is Mike here yet? He'll be here for the food, right? Okay. Nancy came up and said, "Do you recognize me?" And I said, "Well, if you put your Cardinals shirt on, I might." Every day there's a picture of her in her Cardinals shirt yelling, "Woohoo!" So I'm glad they won for you yesterday. But those of you who I've known through Facebook or WhatsApp Messenger, it's been great to get to know you. Kathleen, you might have been the first one, I don't know, that I met here, but so thank you. Had about 12 churches that wanted us to come on a Sunday morning, but I just felt and we only have 3 Sunday mornings, so, but I just felt with just knowing the folks that without even having met you, I saw the heart and the spirit, and I just said, we've got to go to this church and meet their pastor, who they talk so highly about. And so we came here, and I kind of justified it by saying, well, it's on the way from Florida, so so nobody's too mad at me. But I'm just excited to be here with these young men. I heard people say, oh, they're such nice-looking young men. Well, you have heard of DNA, right? So we've had a great time yesterday, and appreciate the home. That's been great, with lots of food, and which they've been making themselves. I haven't had any of the snacks. They've just been. Okay. I loved James, where's James? I loved your time and what you said. That was very moving, and I noticed you went over 3 minutes and they did not kick you out. So if I go over a couple of minutes, I hope you don't kick me out. I'm going to try to, pretty hard to take 26 years and go, but I'm going to do my best so you get an idea of what the ministry is about and what God is doing. Never mistake what's being done by anything that I do. I sometimes think God works despite me, but he's doing some good things. It's so important to be able to bring 5 young men like this, because now you see. I'm not making up stories. These are real people that your finances, your prayers have brought to this point, and that should be exciting to you. So 26 years ago, I went to Haiti. I was working for Youth for Christ, and they said everybody has to go on a missions trip if you work here, which I didn't want to do. I was such a super spiritual guy, and I had my ministry in Fort Wayne, and they said, well, you have to go. And I said, well, I don't want to go. And they said, well, if you want a paycheck, you got to go on a missions trip. They said, we're going to Haiti. I didn't know if Haiti was on the other side of Africa or below Australia. I had no idea. But I do now know. But I said, okay, this is how spiritual I was. I said, I'll go to stupid Haiti, and I'll spend my week there, and then I'll never go back to stupid Haiti. Second day in Haiti, walking through a village called Titayen, which I think my Creole is good enough to know Titayen means a little bit of nothing. That was the name of the village, a little bit of nothing. So I'm walking through Titayen. I had kids hanging on each arm, just 10 or 12 kids hanging on me. And as clearly as you can hear me today, God said, Tom, you're going to be here the rest of your life. And it was such a revelation. I didn't question it. It became exciting that quick. And so the rest of the week, it was like, wow, I'm going to live here. Went back and resigned the greatest job in the world. I was in charge of a beautiful gym, running basketball programs for inner city gangs. I had midnight basketball we did, and was just such a fun ministry and exciting ministry. And I left that to go to Haiti. I went with a mission called Hope Mission, just kind of, they were available, and I was called to go, so I went with them for the first couple years before I started a ministry called Jesus in Haiti Ministries. When I was trying to think of a name for it, good friends said, whatever you do, don't put the name God or anything in your name, because that'll turn some people off for fundraising. And so first thing I came to was Jesus in Haiti. That's who we are. That's who we represent. And so I wasn't worried at all about putting God's name in our name. And so we did that. I did that for about 10, 12 years. At Hope Mission, I was part of founding a church and a school, which is still thriving today. And then I went to Jesus in Haiti and was the director and founder 10, 12 years, I think. And we started a school just with some homeless kids. I saw homeless kids, and we took 15 of them, and we just started a school. I got a teacher, and we just started to teach them how to read and write. And that school grew, and over 1,000 students today in that school. And one of the 5-year-old boys that was in that school is now in my home. He's one of the boys that I've raised. His mom died in the earthquake, so I had a chance to raise him. So that school is thriving, and that church, Victory Bible Church, the pastor is one of the young men that I raised in my home, Pastor Derson. But then after about 12 years, it was to the point where I didn't feel I was doing what I was called to Haiti to do. I was just administrating, and I'd get to work in the morning, and there would be a whole bunch of staff issues to deal with, and then there would be 100 people in a line needing help and wanting something, and it was just, I wasn't teaching or preaching or going, it just seemed like I was, and I thought, I just can't do this. And so I was praying about how I can do it, and I went to my board, and I said, I'd like to find another director, a younger director that can come in and run the mission. And they said, okay, that sounds good. They said, we'll make you our full-time fundraiser in the States, and you can just go. And I'm like, it's not really what I meant, I want to stay in Haiti, I want to do ministry. And there was a little bit of a clash there, and so I said, you know what, I said, I'm going to leave this. You guys are in good hands, got a good board, got a good staff, and so I said, I'm just going to go see what God has for me. So I left Jesus in Haiti Ministries in good hands. They're doing well. And I started a ministry called Ignite Your Faith Ministries. It was supposed to be just an old person ministry. I was just going to go slow and have a house. And there's so many opportunities to do ministry in Haiti, just every corner. And there's prisons to go into, and I can go in schools and teach the gospel. I can do anything. So I said, I'll find something to do, and I just kind of will take it slow. That slow ended up, we've got about 30 kids in my care right now because there is no slow. And when I first went to Haiti, my second month there, I had no idea I would take kids in. It never even crossed my mind, never thought about it. I didn't go there for that. I went there I was going to tell kids about Jesus and preach and teach and then go home and watch reruns of Andy Griffith, and it was just going to be a good life and simple life. And then I was at a little orphanage, a poorly run orphanage. Just some wonderful lady saw the need and took in about 40 orphans. She had no food for them, no medicine, nothing. And I had taken the kids to play soccer one day, and as I was bringing them back, there was a little boy sitting next to me. His name was Sadrach. And as I picked him up, he was so hot. It was like touching an oven. I mean, it was like, whoa, I never felt a human skin that hot. And so I said to the lady, she was up, I said, can I take Sadrach home and, see what's wrong? So he was 3 years old, weighed 20 pounds, took Sadrach home, and the lady, another missionary lady that was there, she took his temperature, and she said it's 106.7. And with my vast medical knowledge, I said, is that bad? She said he could die tonight. I knew it was bad. I took him in the cold shower, and I held him for about 20 minutes with that ice cold water on him. I didn't know any better. If you're a doctor and it's wrong, excuse me, it worked. Got his temperature down to about 100, and he was just shivering, his teeth were... Then I laid him in bed, and I was putting ice on him all night long because of the temperatures to keep it down. Then, of course, it'd go away during the day, and then at night it would come back, and this went on for 21 days. And back then, in 1998, there was really no places to take him. We did find one place a couple hours away, bumpy roads. We got up there, and they said, oh, sorry, the doctor's in the States. So there was just no place to take him. There was no communication. We didn't have iPhones and social media. So 21 days, kept trying to keep his temperature down. They gave him medicine, none of it worked. And we had a lady there one day, she was visiting, and she said, it's just an infection. She said, flush it out of him. She said, just make him drink water until it's gone. I thought, okay, I'm out of, didn't know what to do. I gave him a big 32-ounce glass of water. He drank it, and he peed. Drank another one, and he peed. And about 3 hours later, the infection didn't come that night. It was gone. What she said worked. God used her helping us to. So I was getting ready to take him back to the orphanage, and the other people there said, why would you take him back? Just keep him. Like, keep him? He's 3. I'm 103. And they said, keep, and I thought about it, I thought, yeah, this, you bond with somebody when you're holding them for 3 weeks in that condition. So I kept Sadrach, but he was such a sad little boy to have the name Sadrach. I couldn't take it, so I snuck an H in his name. Of course, I would never change anybody's name, I think I've changed all their names, but anyway. So Sadrach became Shadrach. That was 26 years ago. He's now about 30. He's working in the Dominican Republic. If you get a call from a sales rep or one of those things, what do they call them? A telemarketer, that's what he does, makes good money doing it. He's happy. So that's where Shadrach is today. I've had an opportunity to be blessed with over 80 kids in my home over 26 years. I've just taken in some orphaned, some on the street, some God chose out of a home. They may have had parents, but tough situations, and God chose them to come and be with me, and so been blessed with that. And it has been mostly boys. In Haiti, sorry to inform you guys of this, but boys are expendable. All they do is eat, and when you have no food in your house, but the girls, no matter how old they are, they cook, they clean, they wash clothes all day, they take care of the babies, and the men don't. And so when you get to be about 11, 12 years old, and you're a boy, it's just kind of, you're forgotten about. Many cases, they've been told to leave. I've had kids that their parents said, we can't take care of you, go. And so there's been a bigger need, but I've had about 5 girls over the years. It's not an ideal situation. I mean, you can think about putting teenage boys and teenage girls in the same house without 10 supervisors. You can imagine what that could lead to. So it wouldn't have been a smart thing to do. But the 5 girls that I did have to take, they needed to place, so they have been with me. But so that's what I've done. Our ministry with Ignite Your Faith Ministries, we take water to the village of St. Christophe, probably 5,000-6,000 gallons of clean water every week. Every Monday or Tuesday it goes in there. Now we were in this village of St. Christophe where 4 of these guys came from, and then the gangs attacked and drove. Most of the young men left because they were vulnerable to be killed. The gangs didn't like men because they were a threat to them, so they would kill a lot of them. So I ended up with about 15 more of their friends that came to live with us when the gang attacked the village. But we wondered if we would stop taking water in now that the gang was controlled, but they needed water too, so they let us bring our trucks in. So our trucks roll in and deliver the water. All the people get it. And we do have 25 widows in the village that we care for with kids, probably about 150 altogether, that they used to go to the market with their little basket of mangoes or something, or tomatoes to sell, make a few bucks, enough to have a bowl of rice at night. But when the gangs came and took over Haiti and took over their village, they were kind of confined to their home. You know, and when you're 70 years old and you've got not just your kids, but you've taken in your kids' kids, and you know, they're just starving. It was a tough situation. So we couldn't take food to them, but we started smuggling money into them. And our guys couldn't do it, so believe it or not, our young ladies in our ministry because we took 2 in, they could get through. And so they would hide money on themselves, and the gangs would let them come in, and they would actually distribute the money to our 25 families in a secret way. So we've been taking care of them for a couple of years that way every month, just kind of sneaking money in. Or our one staff guy, James, he can, in charge of water, they've got now where he can come into, and so he sneaks money into them. And so we've been taking care of them, or they wouldn't be alive probably without that help. And that's, a lot of help's come from some of you folks in your church. So we thank you for that. We also used to go into the prison, and there's 240 women in the ladies' prison, and we would go in there under the guise of teaching English, but it was about 20 minutes English and 40 minutes sharing the gospel with them. Had a great time with the ladies. We had about 60 of them out of there that were eligible to come. We had a great time praising and worshiping with these women, leading many come to know the Lord. And they learned English, which they thought that was important, and so we had a lot of fun with those ladies. We haven't been able to do it since the gangs took over. They don't open their gates for anybody. They don't want us coming and going, and so we haven't been able to go in there. Plus with COVID, they're scared about that. So we haven't been able to go in for about 1.5 years. But we take them water also. Haiti has no functioning government, so the ladies would not have water if we didn't take in 6-8 trucks a month. So we deliver all their water, so they still know we care about them. We hope to get back in there at some point. So that's basically our ministry. We do some soccer programs. We had a church in the village, and Liberty Bible Church, and we had up to 200 people that would come, and I love that. But again, when the gangs came, that shut down everything. And so we haven't had church for 1.5 to 2 years. I can't remember exactly how long, but so no church. We look forward to the day real soon when we can get back in and have church again. That's going to be I dream about that day of opening our doors, and I think we'll even have more people than ever after we've been gone for so long. So that's exciting. There was a little Haitian school next to us. They were meeting under cement blocks with a piece of board on it. And so what we did, we got them the keys, and so they now use our mission building, which is our church. So they've been using that for over 1 year now. So I'm glad it's being used by a Christian school. They're in there every day. So that's exciting. So that's kind of what we do. The filter we go through, and it's never changed, is, our purpose is to share the gospel. Preach the gospel, baptize, make disciples, and teach them how to do the same. And that's always, whatever we do, soccer, prison, it's the same filter. We share the gospel with them, make disciples, and teach them to do the same. So that's kind of what our ministry is about. And then it kind of changed. 3 months ago, we were in the 20% safe part of Haiti. 80% was completely controlled by gangs. Our area was controlled by a gang, but they were, I don't know, haven't found the right word yet. I just call them a good gang and do this. They didn't kill people. They didn't rob you. They didn't kidnap. They were extortionists. So every business, and it's a big business area. Everybody paid them their $1,000 or $2,000 a month, and so they made tons of money with all the businesses giving them money, and so they kind of protected us. Well, they did protect us, even though they were a gang. And the other gangs were ruthless. I don't see many small children here, but I won't say too much, but, they'll attack someplace, and they will chain up a house full of people and burn the house down with the people in it. They behead people, they execute people. They're vicious and they're horrible, and they kidnap, and then when they kidnap you, they torture people. They want that ransom, so they'll, drop hot wax on their face and send the videos to people. So, you kind of try to get the money a little quicker. So some vicious gangs out there. Well, one of those vicious gangs came to our area and kind of took over, and were fighting with the police. It was crazy. They've got audios. I might have sent some of them out. I don't know if Kathleen, if you got one of just boom, 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 all day long. And we were just standing in our house, boom, 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 all day long. And for some reason, I still thought we were safe. We had a 20-foot wall around our little gated village, I call it, where we lived, and a gate and everything, and a couple guards, so I thought maybe we were okay. Not okay, but I thought we might be. But then when this other gang came, and when they took a bulldozer and knocked our walls down, I realized, and then they went to our guards and said, you open your gates and don't shut them again. So there we were in our house with the gates wide open, holes in the walls, very vulnerable, especially as an American. The price tag for an American went anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million ransom, and I didn't want Kathleen to clean her savings out and have to pay that, so we were a little careful. But there we were in our house, we couldn't leave. Gangs everywhere, they came in our village. These guys were all on the floor or in their bed upstairs, staying away from the windows while the gunshots went on and while this vicious gang patrolled our village. They were breaking into people's houses, stealing their cars, robbing them. One night, the first night I think we heard, which we're pretty sure was a lady getting raped right outside, and we couldn't do anything about it. It was just a horrible experience. And we were there, and of course I've got 28 kids on the floor, and then we have another mission house just around the corner with my ministry director, Reynaldo, and his wife, Jefflin, and they have 9 of our kids. They have all the little ones and the 2 girls. And so they were there with writing the same thing, gang members looking in their windows and shooting, but they never came in either one of our houses. Praise God. God was protecting us. Some of you were praying. But I just kept waiting to hear a gunshot and my lock get shattered and who knows what else. But they didn't. That night we made sure we kept the lights out. You wouldn't dare turn a light on because in a dark village, you could see that would glow. So there we were. And I'll admit I was scared. That's not part of who I am ever, to be scared. But man, when you got trying to protect a total of about 35, 40 people, and you're so vulnerable, and I'm peeking out the window, and I'm seeing guys with big guns in their yard, and it's like, ugh. But then we got a call that we could leave at 6 in the morning. There was going to be some armored police cars come by, and which the gangs would kind of run, and we had a window there to get out of our house and get out of there. So everybody grabbed a book bag, and 6 o'clock, we took off, and sure enough, there was 2 armored cars. Did you get a video about that? I made a video of me running down the road. Maybe she'll show you, but I'm running down the road. There's 40 people ahead of me, our people, and everybody else was fleeing, and I'm like, there's the one armored car, and there's another one, and we got to get out of here. That would have been good on CNN. That's what kind of things they do. But we got out of there. We went to a place, a cigarette factory of all places, and they let us stay there. We were safe. But then it's like, what now? Nothing's safe. Where do we go? So we found a hotel that was expensive, but what do you do when we had 45 people? What do you do? It's like $1,000 a night for us. If you break it down, divided by 45, it wasn't so bad probably, but for us at that point it was. Well, we got this hotel, ended up having to stay there 3 nights. It just so happened, I don't know how God worked this out, but there was a bus station next to the hotel, the only bus station that would take us north. And the bus station paid the gangs, whatever, $20,000 a month to allow the gangs to go through. And then, of course, the bus station passed it on to the people who were escaping. The gangs let the buses go through. They didn't care about the people leaving. So I put our guys on a bus on a Saturday morning and for the kidnapping reasons, I couldn't go because they check all the buses, and they would have pulled me off, and again, Kathleen would be broke then. So I wanted to go. I wanted to put a hoodie on and sit in the back and try to get through, but my guys wouldn't let me go, and my staff wouldn't let me go. So I mean, they wanted me to, but they knew the danger. So I stayed with 3 of our guys, and off they went for this 8 or 10 hour bus trip to northern Haiti, which is safe, no gangs, nothing. That 8-hour trip turned out to be a 24-hour ordeal. The bus broke down 3 times in the gang territory, and they finally made it to the bus station, and it was supposed to be a place we were going to rent. They had rented it to somebody else, so I'm in Port-au-Prince, and 40 people are up at the bus station with no place to go, and so it just continued to be like, we finally, I think they went to a hotel, right? So they had to go to a hotel that night. I ended up leaving where I was at to go to a safer place, and then about 5 days later, I was able to get a helicopter and fly up there. I felt a little guilty after their 24-hour trip. It took me 35 minutes by helicopter to get where they were at, but got up there. It was a great reunion, seeing everybody. Then we had to find a place. It took us 3 weeks, either in a cheap hotel or a house that we would get, and we were just going from place to place. I don't know how many places. And finally we found a house. They would rent it to us, and he rented it to us for 3 months. It wasn't cheap, but we had no place to go, and people had generously given money, so we got this house. It's just been great. I don't even think we locked the doors at night. Some nights I get up in the morning, I'm like, why is the door open? But it's that safe of a place. The police, when we were first there, the first week came several times, to check on us and who are these guys and get names and stuff. I mean, they really wanted to keep gangs out of there, so I was glad they checked us. That was okay. So that's where we're at now. There's still 35 of them there. One family with us actually went back to Port-au-Prince, and then I've got 5, so about 35 that are there right now. And the one thing I got to say about that you need to pray for is tomorrow, I know, July 15th, we paid the rent on April 15th, 3 months, I guess. And so tomorrow, we have to stay because Port-au-Prince and our house has not been cleaned out yet. It's still, gangs are walking, challenging the troops and the police. Kenyan troops have come to Haiti, but they just got there last week, and they're planning, and they've did a few things, but they're going to liberate Haiti, and I really think they will. They're a vicious group, and that's what's needed against these gangs. So we're 100% confident in the next couple of months that it'll be cleaned out, and we can go back, and Haiti can get back to life, and we can get back to the village and continue our ministry like we did it before. But we just can't go this week. The problem is if we don't pay rent, in Haiti, the courts will send the police. They'll put chains on our door and put our 35 out, and it's a possibility. I don't think God will let this happen, but it's a possibility that Tuesday morning they could put our 35 kids out and chain the house. And there we sit. It's tough me being way up here because I would probably have to get on a plane and go back and try to, I don't know what, we would probably have to go back to Port-au-Prince, which is a war zone, which wouldn't have made, the reason we left, so we wouldn't die. So to go back to that would almost be like we wasted all this time and money. I mean, I don't know, it's just a tough situation. So the alternative is pray that God provides. We need about $5,000 by tomorrow to pay the rent for another 4 months this time. We're confident that we can be back at our home in Port-au-Prince. But that's a burden that I'm carrying that I wish you'd pray for. God does not have a lack of money. So it's really not a problem. It's just, and sometimes I think he gives it to people. So we just got to pray that those people pass it on. But God has money. And so that's something you can pray for. Last fall, we're getting to these guys. I know that's why you came. I'm sorry, but I wanted to give you some background and so you know about the mission. But last fall, as I was thinking about Haiti, there was just no hope at all. These guys couldn't leave the house. They were just like trapped. And, some of them they can drive trucks. They have a license to drive trucks. And Jimmy's 4 years of medical school and engineering school, and electricians, and then they're stuck. And I'm like, they just can't stay in my house for the next 5 years. They want to live life, and they've got lots to give life, and a lot of blessings to give other people. But here they are. We did the best we could with it. They were my everything as far as they go out for supplies, they cooked, they took care of the generator for power and the solar panels, and helped discipline the kids, and just everything needed to be done. These were the guys that did it. One of my board members said, there's this new Biden program where we can maybe get them sponsored and they go to the States. My first thought for a few seconds was, I don't want to lose these 6 guys. I need them. They do everything. Jackie cooks me American tacos when I want them. What am I going to do? And then I had to take my mission hat off, and I had to put my dad hat on. They got a life to live, and we'll adjust. There's other people, so I said, well, let's do it. So we were looking for sponsors. We were going to send 6 of them to 6 different homes. That was the plan, and so her and her husband applied for all 6 of them. Usually takes 1 to 2 years. Most Haitians have to wait for this, so I knew I had lots of time for my tacos and grilled cheese and all the stuff I like, and it was going to be a process, right? Well, God had other plans, and within about 3 months, they were accepted. They got their visas to come, and in a time limit, they had to come, and it was like, holy cow. We didn't have sponsors for them. We had no place for them to go. Even the one family that sponsored them was going to take 2 of them. They said, we don't have a place. We're going to build a room. We don't have that ready. It's just not good timing. So all of a sudden, we got 6 guys excited. When we going, Poppy? And I'm like, soon. Yeah, didn't have a plan. And then my board got a telephone call. They said, hey, because I've been the last couple of years wanting to, I don't want to call it retire, but I was going to just spend time in the States and then Haiti, kind of back and forth, do that thing. I've been wanting to do that. They said, what if we bought you a house and you lived with your 6 boys in that house as you transitioned them into their, like, wow, how do you beat that? I'm taking the best 6 I got, and I hate to say it, I got great kids, they're all great, but the top 6 that have been there so long, to be able to live with them and be, I have 2 older brothers in Sebring, Florida, and to be able to be with them, it was just, I thought, wow, yeah, that's great. I didn't really have to pray about that one. It was an easy one. Yes, if you can get a house, get it. So that's the plan. They did find a house, put a pretty good down payment on it, but that's something you can pray about. We're going to need to make house payments on that as we go. So, but that's exciting. Now there's 5 here, but the 6th one, passport got messed up, so we're working on that. He'll come as soon as he gets that figured out. So pray for that. They're going to be transitioning into whatever. They've already had, somebody asked Jackie last night, what he wanted to do, and he had a whole list of things. So there's lots of opportunities. A couple of them even talked about joining the military. They're allowed to do that. In case you didn't know it, Haitians have been fighting alongside the Americans for 200 years. Haitians fought in the Revolutionary War. They fought for the North in the Civil War. So they've contributed. So Job Corps has a program that'll pay them to train them, and they might find a job or an internship. And Jimmy wants to get into the medical field, and so as we get started here, we get back, they'll start pursuing options, and then I may bring 4 or 5 more to do the same thing. Someone said, "Well, you're taking the best ones out of Haiti. What's that's going to affect ministry?" And I'm like, well, I think we got to give God a little more credit. I think He can handle evangelizing Haiti without 6 people. If God's planned this, He'll figure out the other. I never went to Haiti. 26 years, I didn't take anybody out. I didn't go there for that. Like I say, this was a different situation. They needed a chance to live life and to contribute. And they weren't going to have it in Haiti, and they may not for who knows how long. It's a tough place. So, Vinay, let them come up and share their story. Remember, English is a second language, even though they're pretty good at it. It's still, I mean, if you had to come up and speak in Spanish or French, you know what I'm talking about. So maybe a little nervous, and I hope you understand their accent. I've told them speak clear because I understand their accent, but you may not. So I hope you can understand them, see their heart, and just kind of get to know them a little bit as they tell their story. We haven't planned on who goes first, but maybe we'll call Ronnie up. So, Ronnie. Speak in right into the microphone, nice and loud.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy because I'm here today. So, God bless me for that. My story is when I met my papi, Mr. Tom, and I was 16 years old. And I live with my sisters and my brothers and my mom and my dad in a little house with a tabby. And Mr. Tom came to help my sister with triplets, like daughters with 3. And when he come, he built with a shelter for her, and he makes some sandwich for people's work, and he said, "Can you help me?" I said, "Yeah, I can." I help him. Said, "You have a knife?" I said, "Yeah, I got it." And I give him a knife, and he has a little kid. His name Dicky. Dicky says, "Can you come to play with me in my house?" He said, "Yeah, you can come." He said, "For 1 week." I go for 1 week and I'm back. And in my head, I said, I pray God a lot. And I have one chance in my life, for my life. Grow up. And I said, I go in his house for the second weeks. I stay with him, and I go to school. I eat, and my school can't pay before. When I live with my mom, he can't pay. I eat very well, and my life is coming better than before, and I'm so happy for that. And with him, I accept Christ, and I baptize, and I'm so happy for that. Yeah. When I live with him, I like to sing 2 songs. I said, "Lord, I give you my heart. I give you my soul. I'm so happy because I'm here today. And God bless me and God sent him in my life. I'm so happy for that and I praise God. Thank you.
You said it exactly like I told you. Good job. You might have missed the part when I met him. He was, because I didn't get it. But there was a bush with a plastic over the bush. And that's where his sister with 3 triplets, I guess I don't have to say 3, triplets, they were just little babies. And Ronnie was another piece of plastic. So, good job, Ronnie. All right. This guy's name was Emson when I met him, but I felt something was missing, so I put an E and an R in there, so I called him Emerson. And then he didn't like that, but then I noticed after about a year he started calling himself Emerson. So maybe I don't know who he really is, but you can call him Emson or Emerson. Or late, whatever it is. But all right, Emerson, come share your story.
Not today. Good morning, church. As you know, my name is Emerson. I changed my name like he did for everybody. And I'm gonna show you a little bit of my story when I met him. It was in 2019. And I was living with my sister's mother and then with my sisters too. And then they got a big fight and then she put us out. Don't even have a place to go. I was thinking about where I'm gonna live for the rest of my life. And then I was Jackie's friend. And then he came to live in the village called Theodat. And then I talked to Jackie. But before that, he don't even like me when I'm going to this house. He always he got a time to close the gate at 6:30, and then I was here at 6:35, and then he get mad at me, and then he said, "Don't even come here again," and a time. When I was out, and then I talked to Jackie, I said, "Can you talk to Tom to make a night in your house?" And then he go to him, he talked to him, he said yes, and then I go, and then at this time, I was talking about the next day, where I'm gonna be. And in the morning, he said, "Can you live with me?" I said yes, and then we go someplace, and then we talk. My mom was living in Chile, and then my dad in Republic Dominican. I don't even have someone to care about me. And he talked to me, we talked, and then he said, "Okay, you can stay with me." Then he became my father. He showed me love, and then he told me about the Bible, about God, and I put God in my life. And he became a great father for me. It was like I was in the darkness, and God put a big light in my life. Because of them, I'm here in 2024. I'm in the state now. Because of him, because of God, because of you guys who pray for us, send us money to get food, electricity, house to stay. I'm so grateful for that. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you a lot for everything you did for me and everything you're going to do. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much.
Richard, they're all hoping, not me. This is Richard. Man believes no introduction.
Hi. My name is Richard, and I'm 35. And what? Why don't you look surprised? Do I look 35? All right. I'm very happy to be here today, and it's a pleasure to me to finally meet you guys and to tell you how much thankful I am because of what you've been doing for us, and how much help you give us. Today I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my story. I'm not gonna tell you about every detail because that would take me 3 weeks. So I'm gonna tell you the most important ones. So, I don't know if you guys know, there was an earthquake in 2010 in Haiti. So at that time, I live in Port-au-Prince, and then the earthquake happened, and then we had to move to a small village called Saint Christophe, like he talked about. And then when it was starting, my dad went there with the first people that get there, and then, you know, everybody wanted a piece of land to build something they call house, which wasn't. Everybody was fighting to get a piece of land. And then my dad, my biological dad, so I'm going to refer to him as Tom, because there's two dads in the story. And then my dad and some other people, they built a committee for that they could be, when they do it, so they could do it in peace and in order. So they set up a committee, and then everything goes smooth. Everybody got a piece of land, built a house, and then move on with their life. And then after years go by, there was a small group of gangs that was created inside the village. So my dad, but they wanted to kill people, abuse people, so my dad and the committee didn't agree with them. So they were trying to chase them off, kick them out of the village. So that didn't happen. So now the gang was chasing the committee. But they weren't chasing them to kick them out. They wanted to kill them. And that succeeded. They killed some of them. And then my dad has a chance. He fled, so there was me and my mom in the village, in the home by ourselves. And at that time, I think I was 11 or 12. So I was a kid. So now, since they couldn't get my father, now they were trying to get me, because I'm the oldest son, whatever. So now they were trying to kill me. And then my dad, Tom, was already in the village. So my mom went to him. She had a translator. She talked to Tom, and she said, I have a son, and da-da-da, da-da-da. He told him about the situation. And then he agreed. He said, okay, I'm gonna take him in. So when my mom come home, she said, you're gonna go live with Tom? But to be honest, I didn't wanna go because I was the only one with my mom. So I said, no, I'm not going. I'm not leaving you. And then she said, if I was meant to die because of your father's reputation, I will. But I'm not ready to risk that with you. So you have to go. So she was kind of convincing. So I said, okay, I'll leave. And then that was the time I met Tom, and I became his son. What interests me a lot about this story is that I was a Christian when the whole thing was happening. I was a Christian. So I never prayed to be saved. I never prayed to become his son. I never prayed to be here one day. So sometimes I sit by myself and I'm asking myself, why me? When there was a lot of people suffering, a lot of people dying, why me? I didn't even pray to be here. I didn't even pray to be saved. But one time, I asked Tom, my dad, and he said, you never know, son. Maybe somebody was praying for you. And at that time, my mom was a Christian. So obviously, she was praying. So that is why it is so important. And That is why you are so appreciated by me and by us in general, because of your prayers and caring and everything you're trying to, in every way you can help. So that's why I'm asking you to pray for us, because the job is not done. There's still work to do. We are, like my dad said, we have 35 people at home that that need to eat, to drink, to go to school, a house to pay, in every situation you can take. So, like I said, I'm really happy to be here. It's a real pleasure to me to finally meet you, to say thank you guys. You people play a very important role in my life. You do too, Tom, but you know. Thank you guys. It was nice meeting all of you. You were so nice to me, to us in general. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Oh, as you know, my name is Jackie, and I'm 21. No, 22. And I'm 22. Yeah. To start, I'm gonna tell my story. So, I remember the first day I met my father, Tom. I was 11. And I was in a small village, like Richard said, with my brother Jimmy, and I got like 2 more brothers and 2 sisters. At that time, we used to go to school like in Delma. Delma is a place like 2 hours from where we live. And we used to wake up at 4 in the morning to go to school. And sometimes we miss like 3 or 4 days in the week. And my brother Jimmy, he know how to play soccer, like he really good at it. And Tom has a club in the small village, a soccer club. Like we keep telling Jimmy to go to this club, and he don't want to go. And sometimes we finally convince him, and he go. And he met my father, Tom. And the first week he met my father, and he went to live with him, with my little brother. Now me and my other brother, Junior, stay at home. And the first week we missed 3 days of school. And he went to school, he didn't saw us. He came back next week he came back at home, and he said, I'm living with you guys. I'm not gonna let you keep missing school and stuff. And we go with him to where he lived at the time. We don't even know where we was going. So I met my father Tom. The first week I met him, and I saw he was cooking hamburger, and I was watching him. Second week, I asked him if I can help. He said yes, and I helped him. In the third week, so it was gonna cook. I said I can do it. You can stay and rest. I can do it. He said, "Are you sure?" I said yes. And that's the day I become his cook. Yeah, he never have to cook anymore. I cook for him and the family, and I became his driver too. I drive for him like maybe 3-4 years. Yeah, I've been driving for him like 3-4 years, and I'm really happy to be here because of you guys, of your help. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that the fact you give us a home to be here. And last night we got some pizza. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys. Thank you a lot. Thank you. Um, didn't I deserve an introduction, Bobby? Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here and to share my story with you, because you've been helping me without knowing me. So, yeah. As you already know, my name is Jimmy, and when people say, we always save the best for the last, so that's why I'm last. Yeah, so my story is kind of similar to every Haitian kid, because in Haiti, every kid, like our main worries is when and where our next meal is gonna come from. And am I gonna miss like 2 days of school this week, or even the whole month? So it's always difficult. It's been difficult for all of us, but we had hope. But when I met him, it was like I think 2 years after the earthquake. After the earthquake is when things got worse. Like we had a place to stay, but it was like the earthquake wiped everything out. So we were on the street. We didn't have a place to stay, and then we found a piece of land owned by I think a government person. I don't know. So we stayed there for like 6 months, and then he told us like we could not stay anymore, and then he kicked us out. So we were in the streets. And then my dad, he heard about people living in the mountains to build houses with woods. And then, he said, okay, we'll go there, we'll find a piece of land, and then we're gonna build a small house. And it was like as big as this part of the stage. And then it was 6 of us in a small room, and it was me. Jackie is my DNA brother, as we would say, and then my mom and dad and my 2 other brothers in Haiti. So, we had a home, but where we went to school in Delmas, when we went to the mountains, it was like 2 hours away from the school, so we could not go to school. And in my family at that time, we believed in 2 things. It's God first, and then education. Because education was our way out of poverty and stuff like that. So when we were in the mountains, it was really difficult for us to go to school. Sometimes we miss, as Jackie already said, we miss like 2 days a week, or the whole week, or sometimes the month. And then when we go to school, we had to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and then to walk to the tap station, get the tap 2-hour drives, and then walk 30 minutes to the school. So that was really difficult. And then at one point, the director of the school said we could not miss school because there are rules, and rules must be followed by everyone. So he was about to kick us out. So our only hope was about to be crushed. Like, education was our way out. So if we get kicked out, we got nothing else to do. So I was really sad. I was thinking, what's next? This is it. It's over for us. And then there was a soccer program in the village by one of Tom's staff. And then I was really shy, even though I'm good at playing soccer, but I was really shy. I didn't want to go. So my brothers and some friends convinced me. Said, yo, you're good at soccer. Go play. Go have some fun. And then, I decided to go. One day, as I was walking to go to play soccer, every kid in the village was following me. Like, because I'm good in soccer, they wanted to be in my team. So they wanted to win. So yeah, we were walking, and then that's the first time a papi saw me, and then this caught his attention, and then he talked to me, and then I didn't tell him my story at that time, because I said, yeah, I just like to play soccer, and then they like me, so that's why they're following me. And then the second week, he was doing water, giving water away in the village to everybody, and I didn't go to get water. I was still shy. Even though my mom was getting water, I was staying at the house on the top of a hill, looking down, and then he saw me. He waved at me, and then I waved at him. And then I went down, I talked to him, I told him my story, and then he said, wow, that's very difficult for you. So he said, okay, I live next to your school. You can come on the weekdays to go to school, and then on the weekends get back to the village with your parents. And I said, oh, that would be great. But I did not tell him I had like 3 other brothers. And then said, okay, on Sunday, come to church, and then from there we'll go to my house, and then you'll go to school. And then I said, okay. On Sunday, I showed up with my little brother. Said, what? I thought that was only you. I said, no, when we go to school, I'm the one who take care of him because he's too small. So he says, okay, you can come. And then I went to his house, and I stayed there for a week, but I did not tell him about my 2 other brothers. And when we were going to school, I went to school every day this week. That was the first time, because I was really happy. And 3 days of this week, I didn't see my 2 other brothers because they could not come. And that made me very sad. And I said, I have this chance, and they deserve it. So I have to talk to Tom. And then I told them about my 2 other brothers, and then they say, wow, okay, they can come and stay on the weekdays and then get back to the village, the same as you. So they came, and I was very happy. This was like one of the best days of my life, because I usually tell them this. This was the day that my life changed. And then first week, we went back to the village on the weekends. Second week, we did not. And that was it. So I stayed with them like for forever. And as Richard said, there are kids who were in the same situation as me and that did not get this opportunity. And I keep thinking that why me? Because I'm just like them, I'm no better than them, so why me? And as times go by, I realize God, that was God's plan, because when I came to his house, I was a Christian before, because my parents believed in God, and we went to church, but they did not teach me the words. They just said, okay, you go to church, you worship, and then I did not know a lot. So when I went to him, he taught me about God, and then I'm a quick learner, so I learned English as you can see. And I became one of his main guys, because at the mission, I teach, I do devotions, I teach English, and 15 other guys had the opportunity to come live with them, because they were my friends, they were people I met, so I introduced them to him, and then he accepted. So their life changed for the better. So I think that was God's plan for these people to come. So he said, you are a good example. If you tell me that these guys are good people, I'm going to accept them. So that was great. So what I think about the story is that it's kind of similar. There's, in the Bible, they said, when you knock, God opens for you. And I didn't knock, I waved. And then God waved back through him. And then that's when my life changed, and I'm very grateful for that. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you people for your help financially and through prayers, because without that, I would still be in the street. Without your help, I would still be. I could. I don't think I'd be alive because I could be killed. You know, that's what happens in Haiti. So I'm very grateful for that. And you guys are the embodiment of the true spirit of Christianity. And thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I can thank you enough. And God will keep blessing you. And you guys have inspired me to bless people just like you have been blessing me. You guys are tools in God's hands to change people's life. And I want to do the same. I want to work. That's why I started medical school, so that's why I want to keep going because I like to help people. So thank you so much. Thank you enough. God bless you.
Okay, I'll hurry. If you have reservations for Red Lobster, go. You won't offend anybody. I'm so sorry we're late. James, it's your fault. But I just felt by sharing part of a story and you don't grasp it, now you know the story of our mission. You've met them. I just want to close with something real quick. I'll save we had a slide presentation, but maybe as you're going to lunch they can show it, so I won't take that time up. But there's some pictures. It'd be nice if you could see to get a grip. But I just want to challenge you with this before we leave. I'm a foreign missionary. You're a missionary too. You're a domestic missionary. And it's so important that you do your job as I'm commanded to do mine. If you're going home today and you saw a car that was on fire and there was people trapped inside, there's not one of you that would just drive by and look at it. You would stop. Now you might make a phone call, but you would stop and you would try to open the doors. You'd break the windows. You would do whatever you could to get those people out of that car. Well, you know, there's people you love that are dying and going to a Christless hell. They're in that burning car. And you're driving right by. They're people you work with. They're people you play with. They're people you go to school with. They're your neighbors. Sometimes it's in your family. And you're driving right by that car, and it's on fire. Without God, they will perish. And you are the missionary that God has called to them. You can't save anybody, but you can tell them the story. And you have to be intentional. When you buy a house, and we're getting one, I know what that's like. When you buy a car, when you go to college, you put your kid in youth baseball, it doesn't matter what it is, you're intentional and you make plans. When you have a birthday party, there's plans and you write things out, you make lists. But yeah, what's the most important thing we're called to do? Share our faith, be intentional, evangelize. We're not intentional. Oh, if I get the chance, if my lost friend comes up and says, tell me about God, well, I'll tell him a little. You have to be intentional, and you have to have a boldness to talk to people. It's not easy, it's not simple, but compared to what their outcome is going to be. In the Sudan, there are people that are getting massacred every day because of their faith, killed. You, I can almost assuredly say, will not get killed for talking to somebody about God. They may laugh at you, they may call you names, but you have to be intentional. Make a plan. And I want to challenge you today, not tomorrow, today. Make a list of 10 people that you know that don't know Christ. Write their names down, starting with family members, neighbors, co-workers. Write their names on a piece of paper. Pray for them. Somehow, invite them to church. Do anything you can to share Christ. And if it's just sitting down and say, listen, you know I'm a Christian. What about you? If you died today, where would you go? You know, there's 50 different ways to start that conversation. Other people can help you. You can probably Google it. I don't know. But have the conversation. You owe it to these folks to be intentional with them. So I hope you do that. I hope you realize that you are missionaries and it's your job to share with these people who Christ is, what he's done in your life. That's what these young men do in Haiti. They work with our ministry. They help with the soccer programs, and they do a little bit of everything. And they're coming here. Their ministry's not going to stop. My prayer is that they're going to do ministry the rest of their life. Will it be in Haiti? I don't know. Maybe a couple of them. Maybe all of them will go back. We don't know. But if not, wherever God puts them, they're going to bless people. They're going to share their faith with people. I'm confident of that. And people are going to come to God because of wherever they're at. It doesn't matter. People need the Lord everywhere. So thank you for listening to us. Thank you for hearing our stories. Maybe we'll put that slide presentation on, and if you, as we close here, as I turn over to the pastor, you want to show it after we're done as they're leaving, or how do you want to? Okay, just some pictures that might interest you. So, Pastor, thank you.
I want to look at these pictures all day. I don't know. This is a great story. Great ministry. Thank you so much, Tom, for being, and all of you young men. God bless you in all of your endeavors. I want to say thanks to a lot of people, but I won't name them all. I will say that among the mission team, we have some very hard workers who arranged all of this, and all of it goes back, I think, to Kathleen. Thank you for your inspiration of finding this ministry, talking about it, and getting us enthused about it. And thank God for a lady like that. So, see, I got a note here. Well, we're going to go down and eat now, and I want to say Nancy and whoever else is down there with her right now, doing the miracle that makes the food warm again. Thanks. I want to say thanks to Cheryl, the director of our missions team, a fantastic woman who works hard, diligently, and does things well. Thanks. So we are blessed. We will be a blessing. Would you stand? We're going to bless the food and thank the Lord for this opportunity. Yeah. Oh, yes. Good. See? She's always on the ball. There is a box under that cross on your left as you go out. That's specifically for the ministry, Tom's ministry. And so if you were touched, God's speaking to you, put a generous gift in there, and that'll go far. Father, thank you for a refreshing, encouraging, holy, sanctified time. Thank you for your work through this ministry and through the lives of those this ministry has touched. May that influence go far and reproduce itself over and over again. Again, we thank you for the privilege of having them here, and we give you praise for that and for their ministry. Lord, bless the food that we're about to receive, and may you be glorified in all things. In Jesus, amen. Amen.